Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my first Instagram live. I've been really tired this week and I couldn't upload videos and or film them and edited them, and it's just it was a bit too much. So I didn't do anything of that. And today is Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. So I thought, you know what, let's surprise you guys with a live video. And if you cannot see it live or didn't watch the whole video live, it's okay. I will post it on my Instagram and I see if I can edit it later and post it also on TikTok. Hey, Jam, nice to see you. So today is Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, and that's on the 12th of May worldwide. I wanted to tell you a little bit about fibromyalgia. So what is fibromyalgia? I have a notebook right here so I don't lose my train of thought. It's widespread pain through the body, and particularly in the muscles. So not really in joints, but the pain itself, it's in the muscles. There can be brain fog, and brain fog is like you're really woozy in your head, you forget a lot of things, you have trouble remembering, and if you read the symptoms of fibromyalgia, brain fog, it's almost like reading the symptoms of ADD. So since I'm diagnosed with ADD as well, I have ADD plus. You can also have low energy or chronic fatigue. So you can be really tired with it. It's worse in the morning. That's true. Especially with the pain, because too much exercise can make the pain worse, but too much rest as well. So when I was in the pain rehabilitation center, they recommended that I do not lay down for more than 10 hours. And I notice as well, if I sleep in a day and I rest more than 10 hours, my pain, especially in my back, is worse. So, and if you have low energy, chronic fatigue, and your bedtimes are off because you cannot sleep because of the pain, if you're really, really tired, you can get clumsy, and you might have seen some videos of me where I'm portraying that, because that's really one of the symptoms that fibromyalgia says. You need to slow your ass down now. The chronic also means that is in your body, or just with anything, is that it's longer than 3 months. Chronic doesn't mean lifelong, what a lot of people tend to think, but it's not. Chronic is just that it's consistently there for 3 months. Like if you have chronic depression, you have depression for longer than 3 months. Doesn't mean you have depression forever, for example. So with fibromyalgia, it's the same. Doctors say there is no cure. But they also don't know where it's coming from. Fibromyalgia is diagnosed by ruling everything out. And because it's very similar to rheumatics, they will also test for inflammation and do maybe scans of your body where you have the most pain to see if there are not inflammations there. And they will check your blood and let me take a breath. My heart is racing. So they will just check everything that can cause the symptoms. And if it's not the things that they know, or things that can be checked by blood tests or scans or anything like that, then it's diagnosed with fibromyalgia if you have specific linked symptoms. So it's fibromyalgia is basically a bunch of symptoms that cannot be explained by anything else, basically, or any disease or rheumatics, that kind of thing. And exactly, Jam, there is a link between stored emotional trauma. I think so too. And that's my take on fibromyalgia. Also because I learned in the pain rehabilitation, I learned that chronic pain in general is caused by trauma, and any kind of trauma. So that can be abuse when you were little, neglect when you were little, accident, like for example, a car accident or a skiing accident. But it can also be chronic stress throughout your life. So, or in a relationship, doesn't have to be with neglect or abuse by parents, but also, for example, abusive relationship or something like that. So it has to be caused by trauma, and that's chronic pain in general. So that's really aligns with what I think fibromyalgia is. It's like your incapability to cope with your emotions that you're having at the moment, and then it's stored in your body, and then it's like there, right? And it's cooking and rotting, and you're not coping with it, and you're not processing the emotions. The emotions, they stay there, and if you're like me, I emotionally eat. So I pushed all the remaining emotions every time I felt something bad, like anger or sadness. I pushed it down, and that just came on top of it, until I was like around 25. I was having pain symptoms earlier, but around 25 it broke loose. I got widespread pain all over my body. So yeah, I really think it's also, yeah, repressed emotions, repressed trauma. Basically, because I also read some articles that linked PTSD to fibromyalgia. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. Basically, I think it's a physical manifestation of post-traumatic disorder. Not that you have post-traumatic stress disorder, but that just another version of it, basically. Because I had an ex-boyfriend who had post-traumatic stress disorder, and he would have random days that his symptoms were worse, and he would have days that he would have a lot of memories coming up like that, and really random. And it really is so similar to the flare-ups you can have when you have fibromyalgia. And I learned over the years that those flare-ups are caused or triggered by emotions or certain events. So, and it's really similar with PTSD. So yeah, I really think suppressed emotions, suppressed trauma, like things that you haven't worked through and that are still like tight, hanging up there in your body. So yeah, I also compared like with the pain. It's not, the pain is not measurable. It's not visible. You cannot take a scan of your body and see, look, I have pain there, right? It's, I like to compare it to phantom pain. Like someone has like missing a limb, and they can still feel their fingers, for example, or have pain in their pinky while they're not having their whole arm, for example. So I like to compare fibromyalgia like that, right? It's just like an overactive nervous system that is just sounding all the alarm bells. It's just your nervous system in anxiety, right? It's just over dramatic, overreacting with like signals, sending you signals, basically screaming at you like, there's something, look out for that, look out for this. And that's very similar to PTSD, right? Because with PTSD, you're also in a hypervigilant state. And with fibromyalgia, basically, your brain is not in a hypervigilant state, but your body is. So it's like, yeah, like, I don't know if you saw the blog that I did. Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you. I don't know if you saw the blog that I did, but basically, your nervous system is going off by doing something as extreme as the dishes. That's what I wrote in there. It's just, it's going off while you're doing things that are not that shouldn't be physically demanding, right? So that's why I say your nervous system is basically overreacting. And that's very similar to PTSD, because then you're also constantly in a hypervigilant state of watching out for dangers, because if you have PTSD, you see everything around you as a danger. Everything is dangerous, right? And people with PTSD really find their safe space and they're safe people, right? If they see a person they don't know, they are really, really careful with that. And it's like with fibromyalgia, it's not in your brain does that, but your body. So it's like, oh no, don't do the dishes because you might get hurt. Basically, it's what your nervous system is doing. So yeah, that's why I also compare it to phantom pain, because you feel the pain, but it's not, you cannot measure that the pain is there. It's not that there is supposed to be pain. It's not like you're burnt, but you can feel like you're burnt. Some people with fibromyalgia can be very sensitive to touch, like the skin is on fire, for example. I don't have that. I can be very sensitive. I have very sensitive tissue. If you poke me in the arm, it's very sensitive. Like I'm constantly bruised, right? It's very sensitive in that way. And I also bruise easily. So that's a bit of luck. That I also bruise easily, because if people poke me, I do bruise. So even with gentle touch, right? If somebody's tickling me in my side, I can get bruises if they do it a little bit too rough. So somebody I knew with fibromyalgia said to me, it's luckily you bruise so easily, because then you can show them proof, like you really hurt me, right? So yeah. So yeah, it's not a dramatization. It's not what you have things that in the past that women had things and they would call it hysteria, right? And fibromyalgia, I saw on the internet, is also usually or a lot of times compared to hysteria. It's just hysteria. It's just in your mind, and yeah, technically it is, but it's like saying a disorder like ADHD or schizophrenia or bipolar disorder is in your mind, right? Doesn't mean it's not real. The things you experience are real, even though you don't have any evidence of it in your body. I also saw things on the internet, but really, that was really interesting to read and to see, also on TikTok and stuff, that also maybe be caused by masking. And masking is something you see with people with neurodivergency. So things like ADD or ADHD. ADD is the old term of inattentive ADHD. And autism, for example. That's also why a lot of women are not diagnosed with it, because they are really good at masking. A lot of women with neurodivergency are masking their symptoms, trying to be as normal as possible. But it's very consciously, very tiring, and it's like there is a theory that fibromyalgia might be a neurodivergency burnout. So yeah, I can kind of get into that, because it's also suppressing who you are and not being your true self. So yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if it's true, but it's all speculation basically, because nobody knows where it's coming from. Let me see, where was I? Yeah. So yeah, that it might be masking by neurodivergency. So yeah, I think that's also a very interesting take. And since I have ADD, it might be possible. But then again, my sister also is diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and as far as we know, she is not neurodivergent. So maybe it's caused by multiple things. Who knows? Yeah, because I am tired lately, and that's why I have not posted this week yet, because I couldn't motivate myself to film a video and then edited it and then posted it. I'm just tired, and I don't know at the moment what it is, but I'm figuring it out. It could be multiple things. I'm with my diabetes. I'm back on Ozempic, and I have an allergic reaction. I mean, you can see it. My face is really red. It's worse, the allergy. So it might be causing some tiredness as well. It might be with the temperature variations, that it's the one day it's 15 degrees, then it's 20 degrees, and then it's raining again, and then it's sunny. And with fibromyalgia, your body is also very sensitive to temperature variations, so that might be causing a lot of tiredness. Also, maybe I am too strict with uploading, with my uploading schedule, and maybe I need to optimize that a little bit. So it might be different things, and I'm figuring it out. And that's why I thought, you know what, that's why I decided to go live. I mean, it's Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, and I thought I have to post something today. I mean, I have fibromyalgia, and my channel is called Fibromy Positive, so I thought I have to do something with this day, right? Unfortunately, I'm not wearing anything purple. The color of fibromyalgia is purple. So then you know that. Like for ADD, it's orange, which is very convenient, because I think the ADHD Awareness Month is in October as well. It's the same month as Halloween, I think. But that's also a color with orange. It's easy to remember. Let me see. Thank you. And I also have how to take control of your energy. And this is for people with fibromyalgia, but also if you don't have fibromyalgia, but you're thinking, well, you know what, lately I'm tired and I don't know where it's coming from, or am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? So, yeah, and with energy, the most important cause of low energy is poor sleep quality. That's like sleep is, if you can do anything, make sure you sleep well. And with fibromyalgia, it can be difficult. I also had I reduced my pain like a lot, right? But when I did have pain and I was on painkillers, and even then I would be in a lot of pain a lot of times, I couldn't sleep because of the pain. And I would lay there in bed and like, oh my God, I have to work tomorrow. I need to sleep. Oh my God, I cannot sleep. I just have 5 more hours to sleep, and I really need to sleep. Otherwise I will be exhausted the next day. Oh my gosh, I really need to sleep. And because I was stressing out and forcing myself to go to sleep, then you put yourself in the fight or flight state. And you know what? If you're running from a tiger, you know what the last thing is what you're gonna do? Sleep. Yeah, orange is an amazing color. The color of pumpkins, yeah. So when you're in that fight or flight state, you're not gonna sleep. And if you're stressing out, stress will put you in the fight or flight state. So if you want to sleep, that's not the place to be. So rather than thinking you need to sleep, or thinking I have so much hours to sleep, first of all, don't look at the clock. If you cannot sleep, don't look at the time. Because if you know, shit, I just have 3 hours to sleep, you're gonna stress out about it. Accept that you might not sleep that night. We're not gonna die from one night without sleep, or one night without little sleep. Yeah, you might be exhausted the next day, but you're not gonna die from it, right? Humans can handle one bad night or a couple of bad nights. It's okay. So accept that you're not you might not fall asleep, and just accept that you're resting your body. And for people without fibromyalgia, if it's longer than an hour, you might want to get up and do something else, do a boring task, for example, till you go and fall asleep, or you get tired enough to go and sleep. But with people with fibromyalgia, it's also really important that we rest our bodies. So I would advise people with fibromyalgia just to lay in bed, maybe read a book or watch something on Netflix, but that your body is physically resting. And then maybe you will fall asleep, or just, think of fun stuff instead of the stressful stuff. Maybe think about where you want to be in the next 10 years, for example, and dream of a nice big house in a forest or at a lake, at a beach, something like that, something positive. Because they say with anesthesia, for example, you will go in or you will come out how you get in. So they always tell you to think of something nice, right? It's just the same with sleep. So think of something nice. And maybe that will put you in a restful state, so you might want to go to sleep. Try to track your day. So maybe every hour or every half hour you write down what did you do, just for the whole day. And at the end of the day, you can mark the activities that gave you energy with green, for example, and the activities that drain your energy with red. And then the activities that are neutral, because you have activities that might drain your energy, but also give your energy. Except, for example, for me, exercise, it drains my energy, but I also get energy from it. Anybody know Zumba? Zumba takes my physical energy, but it also gives me a lot of mental energy. So I give something, but I also get something back. So do that with yellow or orange, for example, right? And then look at your day, and you can do this for a whole week, and then look at your week. If your week is mostly red, then you need to change your schedule or maybe the people you hang out with, because people can also be draining. So look at that. Look at what is taking your energy, and maybe after you look at your schedule, you think, yeah, no wonder I'm tired. And the other thing I would recommend, check regular check-ins with yourself. And these are things that I also learned at the Pain Rehabilitation Center, right? So to make sure you're not tired at the end of the day, you can do regular check-ins. And when I was still working in childcare, I would do it every time I went to the toilet. So really, really simple, easy check-ins. So how you do that is by, for example, a body scan. It is when you go to the toilet or just have a moment of rest for yourself, or during your lunch break, just go sit down with your eyes closed and just imagine like you're scanning your body, right? Like an MRI scan. And then you're just gonna feel, do I have a headache? How does my head feel? My eyes and my mouth, how does that feel? And my neck, is my neck stiff? Did I sit after behind the computer and is my neck stiff? How is that feel? How do my shoulders feel? My arms, my fingers, my chest, my back, my belly, and so on, right? Till you're at the bottom of your feet. And then you can sense what's going on, or am I thinking a lot, or am I, and then you can see if you're mentally exhausted or physically exhausted. And then you can adjust, right? So right then and there, you can do something so you won't be so exhausted on the end of the day. So thank you, Wendy. It was really helpful for me too. It really helped me with not being completely exhausted at the end of the day. And sometimes we forget, and I forgot too. So that's what I need to do now. I need to take a step back and see, hey, I'm getting tired. What's going on, right? So I hope this is helpful, not only for people with fibromyalgia, but also for people without it. And I see it is. I think this is it for today. I'm hungry. I want to eat something because it's right now. It's like 18 p.m. in the Netherlands. So thank you so much for watching, and see you later. Bye bye. Thank you so much for your love and support.